The rooftop is in a terrible state. The goblins are pillaging everything valuable from the dead bodies of the students, become furious after watching it. Seongwu uses his bracelet skill Berserker to increase the stats of his skeletons, and an all-out skirmish starts on the rooftop everyone is fighting, which pumps Hano a bit. And he throws his knife, which hits the head of a goblin, earning him his first kill. He becomes a more encouraged, which makes him feel like a character from JoJo. After encountering scent of death, the surviving goblins became scared and run off to their boss, the goblin captain. After hearing the roar of the goblin captain, the goblins' morale rises and they start attacking Seongwu's party, but they are still no match for skeletons. On the other hand, the goblin captain starts smashing skeletons one by one. So who can make more skeletons from the corpses? But it depletes. His manhwa throws 2 knives at the boss, which are blocked by the shoulder of the boss. This makes the boss more furious, and he starts charging towards Han-ho. The skeletons try to save him, but 2 of them get easily smashed by 1 hit of the boss. One of them survives and manages to land a hit. While boss is busy taking care of the last skeleton, Jisoo Yoon takes advantage of this opening and slashes the boss, which wounds him a little bit. Seongwu starts fighting more strategically and uses his skeletons as bait while he throws his spear towards the boss, which slashes his cheek a bit. The boss becomes more agitated and smashes some of the skeletons of Seongwu. Now Seongwu has barely enough mana left for a last. Kelton summons Seongwu, sees a sword stuck in the rubble, and he now knows that he needs to end this quickly or they are gonna die. Seongwu picks up the sword and orders his 2 skeletons to charge at the boss. The boss matches both of his skeletons, and the 3rd skeleton jumps up towards the boss, and he has a sword. But the boss deflects his attack. It turns out Seongwu was after the synergy of swords, and now Seongwu Jisoo-yoon and his skeleton have a sword which activates sword synergy. This energy decreases the weight of the swords by 50% and increases attack speed by 10%. Seongwu charges towards the boss with a chair, and his other party members also start attacking the boss. Hano manages to hit the arm of the boss with a knife. Song orders his last skeleton to attack the boss. This skeleton was the first goblin one by Seongwu, and it surprises Seongwu by beheading the boss with 1 hit. They received 255 gold for defeating the goblin captain. Seongwu gets leveled up. Now he is a level 3. The skeleton also absorbed the mana of the goblin captain, which upgraded his class, and now he has a tattoo on his forehead. He is now a level 2 elite goblin, and he has also a commander attribute, someone who thinks his commander attribute is going to be useful once he gets more skeletons. Hano has leveled up to 2, and GCCN leveled up to 3. And all of them received options to choose a random card. Someone chose a card and he got a basic skill to create weapons from bones. This skill costs 10 mana and he can create swords, clubs, spears, and bows using the bones of the corpses. Because Song will completed an exclusive quest of avenging his professor, he will receive an exclusive reward. And his destiny has been altered slightly. His maximum number of minions have increased by 1, and now he can summon up to 5 minions. Han-ho received a hood as a reward and increases his chance of hiding for the monsters by 50%. He can use this hood to run away from the monsters, but now he knows how to fight, so he is going to use it to fight against the monsters. Jisoo-yoon received a fire whetstone. If she sharpens her blade with it, there is a chance that her sword will catch fire during an attack. Seongwu tells them that they can test their skills later, and they need to head back down on the entrance. Jin-suk is pissed at everyone because they keep saying that Jin-suk should have gone up, along with Seongwu. Jin-suk gets angry and starts spouting that Seongwu was an idiot and he must be dead by now. Suddenly, skeletons appear behind Jin-suk and he becomes scared. Seongwu heads towards the entrance and it opens up after he touches it. He also tells Jin-suk that he is very pathetic. Seongwu heads outside and asks the students to follow him. There are dead bodies all over their place, and someone who thinks that goblins did that. Hano spots a group of survivors along the way. Seongwu can easily tell that these people have fought and survived against these goblins. and they have a bit of experience in this field. Jinsuk knows the leader of this group of survivors. His name is Taesong Park, and he is also the president of the student council. Taesong tells the students with Seongwu they also fought and survived against the goblins, and he can guarantee their safety if they tag along with him. But he seems to have some ulterior motives. He tells that he can also join him. If he destroys all of the monsters, he is controlling using his class because he thinks they are creepy and they can be a threat to other survivors. But Jisoo Yoon intervenes and tells Dasong that he is full of, and they don't even want to join his group. She also tells everyone that that song is a hypocrite, and he embezzled student membership fees during the festival by fabricating an event, staging company, and its receipts. She was the one who reported him on the university website. Taesong becomes embarrassed after hearing it. Jiseon leaves along with her party members after a while. Jisoo Yoon starts telling more details about Death Songsekturer party members. It turns out Taeson was a rich, spoiled kid and he used to take advantage of girls. Some of her friends were also abused by him. That's why she knew about the true nature of Desohano becomes enraged after hearing about the true nature of Taeson Seongwu, suggests that they should take the path by the hill to escape the campus. There would be less monsters present there because there is low human activity in that area. Along their path, they spot an orc, which is even bigger than the goblin boss, after spotting them. The orc makes a loud scream and plunges towards a Seongwu's party to attack them. Seongwoo is a bit excited because he has found a new material for the skeletons. The arc proves to be quite strong, and he's about to hit Jisoo Yoon. But a goblin skeleton takes the hit instead of her, and perishes right there. The one-armed skeleton warrior attacks the orc, and the orc receives massive damage because of the effect of 88 blade damage of the one-handed sword. Warrior Single Party flees into the forest, and he uses his skeletons to bait the boss. When the orc is in the forest, he gets attacked by flying knives from Hanho, and the skeletons the orc manages to deflect some knives. He starts smashing the skeletons, but there are a lot of goblin dead bodies around, and someone can make them again and again until he runs out of mana. Two skeletons take hold of the arms of Orc Song in charge of the orc together. DC Yoon manages to slash the leg of the orc, and one of his arms is chopped off by Song Woo. The skeleton warrior finishes him off with a sword stabbed to the neck. Seongwu's party receives 110 gold for defeating the orc patrol leader Orc. Patrol leaders are a bit stronger than normal. Orc Seongwu tries to make the arc patrol leader into one of his skeletons, but he fails to do so because of his low summon level. Some of Seongwu's mana is recovered, so he uses his great bone weapon skill on the dead org leader to forge some low-level bone clubs. He equips his skeletons with the bone clubs to reach a 5-member synergy with the same weapon to get extra buffs. He gives the sword of the one-armed skeleton war to Hanho, and tells him to return the sword back to the skeleton warrior. If the need arises when they reach the entrance, they again see a block path message, which says that they need to defeat the boss monster within 8 hours, or if they fail to do so, the monsters in the area will grow even more stronger. A message pops up in front of them which says that an orc unit is beginning their hunt, and they need to choose a suitable location to fight them. Orcs mostly use their sense of smell to track their prey, so it means that more people you have in your party, the more stronger orc unit will be dispatched to get rid of them. Seongwu's party seems to be a bit safe because there are only a 3-member party and they will get less of a challenge as compared to Tesla's group. Suddenly they start hearing screams from Desert's group. They seem to have caught the attention of the orcs due to their large number of survivors. The first attack on Seongwu's group has also begun, and it seems like they only need to take care of 5 orcs soon. They spot 5 orcs, which seems to be searching for them. Seongwu has an idea to lay a trap using the empty cars and his skeletons when the orcs get close to the cars. Hano starts making fun of them by calling them greedy pig bastards. The orcs become enraged and start rushing towards him. Once the orcs are within the vicinity of the abandoned cars, the skeletons attack them by surprise with their clubs and they get knocked out due to the synergy effect of the clubs, finished off the knocked orcs with ease. They received a total of 231 gold for killing the 5 orc hunters. They also receive an additional award of 100 gold for killing the first wave of ambushers. Seongwu got up to level 4 and he chose a random card which increased his maximum number of skeletons by 2. Now he can have a total of 7 minions at the same time, but his mana capacity is still only 50. Hanho also received a high-speed stabbing skill, which he can only use with the dagger jutsu. Yun shows a strength card and gained 2 stat points. She is also feeling a bit stronger than before. Seongwu asks Hanho to give the sword back to the one-armed warrior skeleton, because now Hanho needs to use the dagger in order to fully monopolize his skill on the way they see 7 orc hunters attacking a bus. The people inside the bus are retaliating with a spear, but they cannot hold the orcs for a long period of time. Ji soon suggests that they attack the orcs from the front, while the person with the spirit attacks them from behind. Bato is skeptical about whether or not the person inside the bus will cooperate with them. He suggests a new, better plan inside the bus. 2 persons, Konsuli with a spear and the other with a shield and sword, are trying their best to fend off the orcs, but they seem to be scared. Meanwhile, a car with skeletons crashes into the orcs. The skeletons start massacring the orcs. The survivors inside the bus mistake them for worse monsters than the orcs. They are startled when they see Hanho banging on the bus's door and calling them out. The spear guy tells Seongwu's party that there is a machine which they can use to buy items with the gold they acquired by killing the monsters. It's basically an E-rank shop, and when Seongwu turns it on, he has 3 roulette options, including bronze, silver, and gold. Hanho has 360 gold, and GCU and has 584 gold, so they can only go for the bronze option. Seongwu has 1,552 gold, and he can try the silver roulette, but he also has an unlimited ranked roulette ticket he received early on in the lobby of the college building. Seongwu taps on the gold roulette option, and it starts spinning. He gets first place item due to his luck. It is a legendary class item called Tear of the Sea Spirit, and it increases the total mana by 200, and it boosts the amount of recovery speed by 200%. Song was quite happy after receiving this item because he can summon a lot of minions again and again. If enough dead bodies are present, Seongwu spins the silver roulette using his 1,000 gold, and he receives a second-place item. Vanguard Shield Decision receives a second-place sword in the bronze roulette called Leader of the Expedition Force. Meanwhile, Hotjo receives a C-rank potion bundle. It looks like Tessen's group is still fighting in the sports field. Someone decides that they are going to help them using a bus instead of a car. This time, normal students are getting massive by the orcs, while Desong and his other awakened friends are trying to escape the orcs by themselves. The bus arrives in the sports field and it crashes into the orcs' Kyungsui. The spearman is driving the bus and he's quite happy because he's receiving a lot of gold for killing the orcs. Meanwhile, Hanho and the skeletons are also getting rid of orcs by throwing knives at them. The bus stops near the survivors in Song, who tells the survivors to get inside the bus. Ji Soo-yeon slices an orc and the orc catches fire due to the effects of the fire, whetstone which she has received after killing the first boss of the campus building's rooftop. The remaining orcs are easily killed left and right by Seongwu and his minions after the battle ended. Naesong and his awakened friends tried to get on the bus, but they are stopped by Song. Seongwu knew that they were trying to escape, using the other students as bait. This one is quite pissed after hearing it, but their conversation comes to a halt when they hear a roar and they receive a notification that the orc chief is infuriated by the failed hunt. Seongwu gets a bit afraid after hearing the roar. He knows that he needs as much help as he can to defeat the orc chief. Sunggood tells their Song's party that they can join him if they are willing to listen to his orders. Desong eats his pride and is about to enter the bus, but someone demands that Desong should head over his chainmail if he wants to hop on the bus. Tesson asks how he can protect himself without the chainmail, so he replies that he will protect him, and this is a small price he needs to pay for his protection.